You may be anxious about arriving in Canada for the first time. You are wondering what and how to prepare and what to expect from the immigration officer once you arrive at the airport. My name is Sandra and I recently moved to Edmonton, Canada from Ghana with my family, and I'm going to discuss what to expect when you arrive at the airport in Canada based on my experience at the YEG airport in Edmonton. So once you've gone through the whole express entry process, you've received your co-PR and you are ready to arrive in Canada, these are some of the things that you need to ensure that you put in place before you arrive. I'm also going to talk about what to expect once you arrive at the airport. When you have booked your ticket, like I mentioned in my previous video, you've gone through all your pros and cons, you've chosen your airline and you are ready to go, you can do your declaration before you arrive, or you can wait and do it at the airport. The advantage is that you get to save some time, because every question you're going to be asked on the declaration form, you're going to take time to answer it per your circumstances. And for us, we wanted to save some time because sometimes you can be anxious the moment you arrive, in a hurry, and if you have kids and all that, you want to exit the airport as soon as possible. So it is not compulsory to use the ArriveCAN app, but we opted to use that in order to save time. Right, so on the ArriveCAN app, you'll be expected to scan the documents of all your accompanying family members, which is their passport. So not just you who is filling the declaration form, but each member of your family, you scan their documents and fill in their necessary details. And then you move on to the declaration, where you will declare how much money you are bringing in. You have to note that you are entitled to a limit of 10,000 Canadian dollars. And if you are coming alone, that is for you per individual. If you are traveling as a family unit, it's a total of 10,000 Canadian dollars for the whole family. So do not make the mistake of carrying $10,000 per person. It's 10,000 Canadian dollars for the whole family unit, right? So you need to declare how much money you are coming in with. You need to declare what foods you may be bringing. I brought in some stew for my kids because we're coming to a new country, the food is new, and I wanted to be ready in the morning when they wanted something to eat, right? So you have to know how to package all those things that you are allowed to bring, and then you also have to declare them. When you declare them and you arrive, it is dependent on the officer to determine whether to allow them into the country or not. Because you have declared them, you are not going to be fined. The goods are likely to just be disposed of. However, if you do not declare them, you are likely going to be fined, or you may face other types of law enforcement. So the advice is to declare everything you are bringing. Dried foods, condiments, oils, prescription medications, snacks, all types of foods that you are bringing, you need to declare them. Right, jewelry, any expensive thing you are bringing, you need to declare them. So once you have done all that, you receive a receipt to show your declaration is complete, and the next steps to take once you arrive at the airport. You are supposed to fill out the ArriveCAN app 72 hours prior to your arrival in Canada. If you are liking this video so far and you are finding it informative, don't forget to like, share and subscribe for others to learn and prepare for their journey to Canada. If you have any questions too, please drop them in the comment section and I'll be willing to answer you or make further videos to answer all your inquiries. So once your day for your departure has arrived, you get on your plane, you board. The moment you arrive in Canada, you will disembark and join a queue to meet the first immigration officer. Before that, you have to go through the e-gate or the kiosk where you scan your documents. So if you've already used the ArriveCAN app, you only need to go to the kiosk, scan your passport again to determine your identity. Take your fingerprints and then a scan of your face. Then your declaration form will be printed out for you because you've already filled in all the necessary details. However, if you want to change any details in your declaration form, you can do that also at the kiosk or at the e-gate, right? So this will save you some time. If you do not use the ArriveCAN app, you'll be required to scan your documents, fill in your details, answer all the questions pertaining how much you are bringing in and all foods and goods you are carrying with you to Canada. And then the declaration form will be printed out for you. Now that you have your declaration form, you will join the queue and go to the first immigration officer. When you arrive there, you give your declaration form, your passport, and your co-PR to the immigration officer. He or she will ask you your purpose for coming into Canada and tell them that you are a new immigrant to Canada and this is your first time of landing. You will go through all your documents and the things that you have checked out on your declaration form and ask you questions pertaining the goods you are carrying or the amount of money you are carrying. Right. For us arriving in Edmonton, after seeing the first immigration officer, we were then directed to pick up our luggage and go to the second office where we were going to have our PR process. So depending on which airport you landed, the dynamics may be different. Some people have had to go to the office to have their PR process before picking up their luggage. After the first immigration officer has gone through your initial documentation, declaration forms and everything, he will direct you to the office where you will also join a queue. You'll be given a number to wait, and then when it's your turn, a Canada Border Service agent will now invite you to their desk and ask you a couple of questions. First thing they will ask you is all the things in your declaration form, what you are bringing. If you are bringing food, they will ask you further questions. Does it contain meat, fish, chicken, all that, for you to explain, and then for them to determine if they will allow it into the country or not. If you are carrying something that you are not allowed to carry, they may ask you to open your bags. We were not asked to open our bags. So again, it's dependent on your personal circumstances. And after that, they will start entering your details on your co-PR into their system. Once they start doing that, they'll ask you a couple of questions about your criminal record, your health circumstances, everything. And then they'll sign your co-PR and ask you to sign. So you need to take note that you are not supposed to sign your co-PR in your home country. You're supposed to wait for the officer to sign it in Canada and then give it to you to sign as confirmation that everything has been filled out. Once you've signed that and everything has been checked, and they would ask for an address where they can mail your PR card to. So this is why it's important to try and find housing before you arrive. Whether it's an Airbnb or you are with a relative, you have to give them an address where your PR card will be sent to. Our PR card took about, I think, 2 weeks to arrive in the post, right? So you need to have that address on hand all the time. I have a video on how we found a home before we arrived in Canada. I'll put the link up so you can also see that and reach out to the agency that helped us if you've not already found your home. Now that you've given them your address for them to mail your PR card to you, they will now tell you that you are welcome to Canada. However, before that, there's an important list that you need to create. As first-time settlers in Canada, know that you have a lot of items back home that you want to bring with you. So before you arrive, you need to make a list of goods that will be accompanying you later. Not the one that you are bringing, but goods that will accompany you later. Maybe you have furniture you want to bring, you have jewelry you want to bring, clothing, any item that you want to bring, goods that you use back home. For example, utensils or dishes, anything like that. You need to make a list of them. Now, when you make a list of them, you also have to indicate how much they cost in Canadian dollars, right? So if you are bringing clothing, how much do they cost? If you are bringing utensils, how much do they cost? You make that list, and the officer will give you a document to fill out all those things, and then he or she will give you a copy back. These things are going to be duty and tax free, and it is valid for a year. So you have a period of 1 year to bring them in, and you enjoy duty-free, tax-free import for these goods. So the officer will now tell you that welcome to Canada, and this is when you've officially become a permanent resident of Canada. So anytime you are asked in any documentation that when did you become a permanent resident of Canada, the date that you landed in Canada, that is when you became a permanent resident of Canada. Don't forget that you have 1 year within the time that your co-PR arrives to arrive in Canada. Otherwise, your co-PR will expire and you have to go through the whole application process again. So don't waste this opportunity. I hope that you found this video useful, and if you have any further questions, write them in the comment section and I'll be willing to answer them for you. Thank you for watching.